If only life could be this great all the time. I said this to myself as I sat on the roof looking at a gorgeous Montana sunset. The strong scent of pine from the surrounding forest mixed with a hint of wood smoke and filled my lungs, and the forest echoed with the chirping of birds. You could not describe a more perfect moment, but my mind was elsewhere. All I could think about was what I had just accomplished. In the last 3 weeks, I had traveled more than 2,000 miles with my father and grandfather to assist in the construction of two buildings. The first, a multi-million-dollar mansion in Alpine, and the second, a log cabin in the backwoods of Montana. It was the most exerting and exhilarating 3 weeks of my life. Each day was spent working from sunrise to sunset. However, seeing the fruits of our labor made all the work feel like fun. And the joy and satisfaction that it brought was more than any sunset could bring. Before this trip, like every teenager does, I felt lost and out of control. But through the hard work and suffering I encountered, I reignited my fire and passion for life. I didn't stop there. I used that fire and fed it with good books and mentors. One of my favorites was Extreme Ownership by Jocko Willink and Leif Babin. This book taught me to approach life with the mindset that everything that happens is my responsibility, whether it was my own fault or something that I didn't cause. I wasn't perfect at it, but as I practiced taking extreme ownership, I rapidly grew my confidence and control in life. Today, I choose to take ownership of everything that happens in life, both good and bad, which has given me the power to change it and affect the world around me. Because I took ownership for my life, I became a better student and my natural leadership capabilities were enhanced. This meant that I was offered the position of CEO in my studio, which meant that I was now not only responsible for my own learning, but was responsible for 11 other high schoolers to find our callings and change the world. We set up scorecards, made and followed deadlines, and began running weekly meetings to ensure we hit our targets. I also began to have one-on-one meetings to help provide additional resources and ensure success. I also started to plan my future and look into potential careers. After much fruitless searching, my most trusted and successful mentor recommended that I check out construction management. Because of my love of hard work and previous construction experience, paired with the new leadership lessons I had learned, I knew that I had found my calling. However, I ran into a roadblock that nearly halted me in my path. I figured out that there was only two ways into construction management. The first, to work as an apprentice and to one day be offered a leadership position, or the second, to apply for and get accepted to college with a good program. The problem is that both paths leave someone lacking crucial experiences and skills needed to lead the other. As I personally debated which path to take, I decided to interview construction managers to ask them, amongst other questions, which path I should take. What surprised me was that almost each almost everyone recommended that I pursue college whilst also working a construction job in my off time. Because of the college degree, I would be able to have access to a higher salary and work at bigger companies. And while I understood their advice, I was not satisfied with the solution. I dreamed of a path of education that would allow a young guy like me, interested in the entrepreneurial aspect of construction, to fast track his way into the industry. What if in this world I could pay for the cost of my training and earn money through hands-on work as a tradesman? It would be a win-win for the company and the up-and-coming construction manager. This program would be focused on building the best possible leaders because they would not only receive excellent on the job technical training, but would also acquire all the management and leadership skills needed to succeed in their job and life. So, I embraced the principle of extreme ownership and decided that I would personally create a program like this to help other young men to follow me. I began by writing a list of what skills and credentials would be necessary to make such a revolutionary program like this a success. I found that for the program to be successful, it would take a leader with three distinct skill sets and qualifications. The first, the ability to teach and hold others accountable. Second, someone who loves hard work and empowering others. And third, a successful construction company to back and provide opportunities to these young men. I know that I can get it done because not only do I have firsthand experience with this dilemma, but I also feel passionate about the need for great leaders in the world. I have been working for the past several years to master the first two requirements and have already started to master the third. I have built a plan for my own construction company and started implementing our first two projects, two duplexes to be built in the Salt Lake area. I bet you're wondering, how in the world does a 17-year-old plan to not only build a construction company, but take on an industry and challenge the process? That's a great question. I understand that this is no small undertaking and that it will require extreme amount of change and action. However, I know that I am capable of completing this project because when you combined my unique blend of grit, work experience, leadership training, and unwavering optimism, it creates an unstoppable force. I don't hesitate when I'm faced with problems. I embrace them. I'm thankful for them because I recognize it's an experience to learn and grow. I create a new plan, find mentors, and obtain the resources that I need to overcome any problem. Speaking of resources, I have already found an investment partner, an up and coming architect, and a master builder with over 25 years of experience to aid me on this journey. Together, we have built a 5-step plan, and to give a broad overview, I'll share with that today. Step 1 is to find a minimum of 10,000 square feet of land for sale around $200,000 and place it under contract. Step 2 is to complete due diligence and rezone if necessary. Step 3 is to obtain permits and close on the land. Step 4 is then to use that as collateral to build the 2 units. And then step 5, manage and build the entire project with the aid of my mentor and doing as much of the construction myself to gain valuable experience and to keep costs down. Based on initial financial projections, this project will turn a profit of 40%. The value of the completed project is estimated at $1.35 million, with $500,000 in profit. But more important than the monetary reward is the massive amount of experience and skills that I will have gained and will set me apart in the industry, giving me even more opportunities to grow my skill sets in management and construction. And most importantly, I will have gained the first step towards obtaining the last requirement needed to open this path for young men to follow. But I need your help. To start my first project, I need to save $200,000. To begin, which could take me around 3 years to make if I save every penny, live very frugally, while also attending college and starting a family. I can do this and will, but with your help, I believe that I can start right now. Would you be willing to invest in me for an amount not to exceed $50,000? But before you ask, I want you to know that I am 100% committed to the completion of this project. I am going to work for your help, and I plan to prove it. I have created a way to ensure that your investment would not be in vain, as the gift would be structured in the following way. For every $3 that I earn and save towards the initial down payment, will you match it with $1? Additionally, I want to ensure continued contact and mentorship from those who have succeeded in the industry by completing interviews and writing lessons learned from each one. Would you be willing to sponsor my interviews with $75 for each one that I complete with a written lessons learned? In return, I promise to provide a detailed plan with specific targets and milestones ready before any of the money is spent. I also promise that the plan and full project pitch will be evaluated and approved by 3 experienced construction managers before started. Additionally, I promise that all of the profit I make will be reinvested into growing the company to provide new opportunities and bring up other young men in a path to success without being stuck in the same 2 undesirable choices that I am experiencing. And finally, I want to say thank you and make one last promise that I will always pay it forward and help those who come behind me. I will make every decision in business and life with honesty and integrity. Thank you, and God bless.